Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a look at what would theoretically happen if Shalltear would have managed to win her fight against the Overlord of the Great Tomb of Nazarick, Ainz, ooal. But before we're going to take a closer look at all of this, let me say thanks to my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. Now with that said, let's discuss why Ainz, ooal, who during his fight against Shalltear seemed to be always a step ahead of the blood-red Valkyrie, would even lose. Well, empathy of course. I know this sounds odd at first, considering Ainz, ooal's emotional dampener, but the split second due to pity that Ainz, ooal had unexpectedly hesitated would have normally enabled Shalltear to destroy Ainz, ooal's insta-casting item, thus preventing him from casting Fallen Down and burning Shalltear to a crisp. Instead, Shalltear could now defeat a MP-depleted Ainz in melee. Now, this did not happen in the canon timeline because Aura distracted Shalltear for but a moment, so that Ainz could clear his mind. But if this didn't happen, Ainz, ooal would have died. Which obviously was one of the things that would change. The end of the Overlord Ainz, ooal would mean that the Great Tomb of Nazarick is now de facto leaderless. Therefore, Albedo, second in command, would now rule the Great Tomb, and pretty much her first order would be to stop Shalltear from damaging Ainz, ooal's dead body. By having Aura and Mare intervene and attack Shalltear, considering that Aura is very fast and can draw Shalltear's attention, and that Mare is able to summon pet dragons and is able to cast a lesser version of Ulbertalane Odal's trump card, an already skilled mana and health depleted Shalltear would not stand a chance. Albedo would also instantly deploy additional forces in order to recover and retrieve Ainz, ooal's body, in order to revive him. Now, given the fact that Albedo would be in command, and that the differences between Demiurge and Albedo only happened later in the story, Ainz would probably have been revived at the same place he died, as soon as possible. Now, normally even that wouldn't be much of a problem for the Overlord, since Ainz, ooal had a ring that allowed him to be revived without much in the way of level loss. But since he had unequipped this specific ring in order to psych himself up, Ainz would now lose 5 levels, which could mean that Ainz might lose super tier spells, or even his trump card, the goal of all life is death, and be significantly weaker than before. And since one can't simply level up again in the new world, since now it is practice that determines what kinds of levels and classes one will unlock, Ainz would probably be unable to restore his character build to the same level of perfection as before. Now, while this is bad, on the other hand, Ainz, ooal would now be free to gain 5 additional levels, for example Ruler or Emperor, that would help him manage the Great Tomb of Nazarick more efficiently. And since Mare has avarice and generosity with him, and Shalltear was recently defeated, it is likely that Ainz could fairly quickly regain the 5 levels, so personally the damage to Ainz would be somewhat limited. But the biggest change would happen on a psychological level. First and foremost, Ainz, ooal would now have failed to defeat Shalltear, and would feel really bad about himself, and even more insecure as he already feels in the current timeline, likely leaving him to abandon or significantly reduce his leadership role. Secondly, Albedo, who remember has identified Ainz, ooal's attachment to his friends as a danger, would now also identify the Great Tomb of Nazarick as a threat, since Ainz would have died for Shalltear, an NPC of the Great Tomb. While Demiurge, who was completely against staying inside the Great Tomb and doing nothing but watch the fight unfold, would now feel that his intuition was right, and that Albedo would have failed Ainz, ooal. So we would have 2 very different approaches to how Nazarick would be led, and this low-key conflict between Demiurge and Albedo would likely be extremely intensified and much more open. And without Ainz, ooal's leadership, or it being just weaker, and even more suggestible than before. There could actually be a civil war inside the Great Tomb of Nezarec. Not between loyalists and traitors like in Warhammer 40k, but between loyalists and other loyalists who can't agree on what is best for Ainz ooal. And while this war could likely potentially completely destroy the Great Tomb of Nezarec and alienate Ainz ooal, who might choose a self-imposed exile and travel the world as Mormon, even this war could have a couple of winners. If the Great Tomb of Nezarec would wipe itself out, the kingdom would survive, the empire would stay independent, the theocracy could deal with the demi-human invasion of the Dragon Kingdom, the Elf King would still be destroyed by Zeshi, and Nea would still have her parents, and still suffer from Remedios. So that's pretty much my opinion and theory on what would likely happen if Ainz ooal would have been defeated by Shalltear. Now what is yours? Please let me know down in the comment section. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, Bad Guy Yee, Bad Boyto 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Okill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pentum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Carcos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock at Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.